Long ago, after the Israelites had wandered in the wilderness for many years, a new leader rose to guide them. His name was Joshua. Joshua had been chosen by God to lead the people into the promised land, the land that had been promised to their ancestors long ago. After crossing the Jordan River through a miracle from God, the Israelites moved forward and came near a powerful city called Jericho. Jericho was unlike any city they had seen before. It had massive stone walls that surrounded it completely. The walls were thick and high, built to keep enemies out. Soldiers stood guard on top of the walls, watching carefully for any sign of attack. To human eyes, Jericho seemed impossible to conquer. The gates of the city were tightly shut because the people of Jericho had heard about the Israelites and the miracles their God had performed. They were afraid, but Joshua trusted in God, and God gave Joshua a plan that seemed very unusual. Instead of attacking the city with weapons, the Israelites were commanded to march around the city once each day for 6 days. In front of the people were priests carrying the Ark of the Covenant, the sacred symbol of God's presence among them. 7 priests walked ahead of the ark, each holding a trumpet made from a ram's horn. Behind them marched the soldiers of Israel. On the first day, the people quietly marched around the great walls of Jericho. The priests blew their trumpets as they walked, but the people remained silent. When they completed one full circle around the city, they returned to their camp. The people of Jericho watched from the walls, confused and curious about what the Israelites were doing. The second day came, and the Israelites did the same thing again. They marched around the city once and returned to their camp. The third day passed the same way. Then the fourth day. Then the fifth. Then the sixth. Each day the Israelites obeyed exactly what God had commanded. They marched around the walls with patience and faith. Finally, the 7th day arrived. On this day, everything would change. Early in the morning, the Israelites began marching around the city again. But this time they didn't stop after one circle. They marched around the city once, then twice, then 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times, and finally the 7th time. When they completed the 7th circle, the priests blew their trumpets louder than ever before. At that moment, Joshua gave the command for all the people to shout with all their strength. The sound of the trumpets filled the air. The voices of thousands of people shouted together. And suddenly, something incredible happened. The mighty walls of Jericho began to shake. The ground trembled beneath the city. Then, before the eyes of everyone watching, the enormous stone walls collapsed and fell to the ground. The walls that once seemed impossible to break were now completely destroyed. The Israelites rushed forward into the city. The victory did not come from weapons or strength, but from faith and obedience to God. The fall of Jericho became one of the greatest miracles in Israel's history. It showed the people that when they trusted God completely, even the strongest walls could fall. And from that day forward, the story of Jericho reminded generations that faith in God can overcome any obstacle.
Thank you for watching Bible Stories with Esther. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more faith-filled Bible stories for all ages.